How's it going, everyone? My name is ClayDoh, and welcome to the recap of summer for our 4th year here on Applegate Farm. It's been a nice season. I honestly do love the summer season. I think out of all the seasons in this game, it's always my favorite. But anyway, no more of me reminiscing about this season and everything like that. Let's just get right into it, starting off with day 1. Obviously, just like the start of any other season in this game, we had to start by going to Pierre's place, grabbing all the seeds available to us from his shop, and then, well, getting my plants ready, getting the crops all done, and yeah, that really sums it up for the day. All it was just planting everything, as it usually is. So yeah, we went to bed happily, and let's get into day 2. On our second day of summer, I continued to fix up the farm a little bit by planting some more crops. We had those summer squashes to plant, but I also planted some star fruit from Sandy from the desert. So thank you, Sandy, for that. Then we chopped down all of the trees in the train station, replanted those guys, and I also traded in all of my mystic syrup for fairy dust. That'll be for future projects, but I wanted to get that done before I forgot about it. So honestly, it was a good day. I'm excited for how we're gonna keep going the rest of the season. So let's lay down and start day 3, shall we? Day 3 was our first Skull Caverns day of the season, and my goodness, was it a good day to go to the Skull Caverns. I ended up with almost 300 pieces of iridium, 4 prismatic shards, got my government mandated 10 diamonds. Everything that could have gone right went right. I mean, I feel like I say that almost every single time I have a Skull Caverns episode, but I really mean it when I say it this time. Also, because of my prismatic luck, I actually invented a new rule for my to-do list. Going forward, if I collect 5 prismatic shards, I can nullify any to-do list item that I didn't get. Counting it technically, but you know, it's because I got 5 prismatic shards. I mean, how often is that actually going to happen in the series, right? Anyway, it was a good day, so we went to bed very happily. Day 4 of summer was just kind of a relaxing day. All I really did all day long was just fish. I did start Demetrius's quest to get 10 tuna and caught 8. So at some point, hopefully I can catch 2 more and finish that quest off. But honestly, that was a strong start to it. And that's pretty much it for today. So I went to bed very happily. On the 5th day of summer, my true love gave to me a couple more tuna to add to my collection. So I was able to give Demetrius all the tuna he needed from the ocean. I mean, he didn't really want it, he wanted them removed, so I did that. And then I cooked 7 new recipes to go for perfection. And finally, I crafted the last gardening pot I needed for the shed, which will be done tomorrow. I'm very excited for it. I think it's gonna look amazing, so it's gonna be fun. That's all I can say about it. So let's go to sleep and check out what we have on day 6. On day 6, it was jam-packed with all sorts of activities, obviously. I had my Saturday chores, which was getting the wine sheds empty, filling them back up, but then I had to work on the gardening shed. Obviously, that took a little bit longer than I anticipated, and I did not get to finish it. I actually collapsed at 2 a.m., did not get to finish it. I made a couple mistakes here and there, which definitely hindered some progress, but we'll make sure it's done tomorrow, so I'm not worried about it in the slightest. So we went to bed on the floor in the garden shed. Comfortably, I guess. I mean, I fell asleep pretty quickly. So yeah. Capping off the first week of summer of year 4, I was able to go down into the Skull Caverns and reach level 100. Another easy day of making it all the way down there. Obviously, as we always go down into the Skull Caverns, I got my government mandated 10 diamonds. I did also get a prismatic shard. Not 2. I had 2 planned out for today, but I only got 1. We'll take it though. I mean, I can't ever say no to a prismatic shard. It always feels good to get one. But yeah, just a simple Skull Caverns day, so we felt good about it. So let's hit the bed, the ground, I guess, in this case, and start tomorrow for the 8th day. On day 8, I actually decided to cook even more items, so we have 10 new dishes added on to our collection. I also decided to go around town and give everybody, or everybody being 10 people, a rabbit's foot, and finally, I ended the day playing some Prairie King. I embarrassingly died on the 2nd level in the 3rd area. I was set up for greatness, and I still somehow blew it. Isn't that the story of my life for Prairie King? Gotta love it. We'll get there eventually, just obviously not today, in a brutal way, unfortunately. So, we went to bed, and yeah, that was it. Good day. On day 9, I decided to go back to Ginger Island to hopefully find a couple more golden walnuts. Spoiler, I didn't find any golden walnuts. I'm not gonna lie. I don't even know what ones I'm missing. I have 14 left and I have no idea where they possibly are. So that's a problem for a later day. So for the rest of the day, I went to the volcano, got some cinder shards, and that was it. So a short day in Ginger Island, but it felt like a good one. So we'll take it. On the 10th day of summer, I went back down to the Skull Caverns and basically had a repeat of what we did last time we were down there. I got 4 prismatic shards again, almost 160 iridium, and of course, come on, I absolutely got my government mandated 10 diamonds. It's literally, as I've said, we get it every single time we go down to the Skull Caverns. It's not a Skull Caverns day if I don't get 10 diamonds. Anyway, we fell asleep on the floor in the Skull Caverns, but you know what? Very well deserved. What a good day. On day 11, it was the luau yet again, so I made sure to grab my finest purple mushroom, talk to everybody at the little beach event that we got going on here, and of course, everybody loved the soup. Of course it was a hit. You know, if it wasn't a hit, it didn't have anything to do with me, because obviously I always pick the best ingredients. Everybody knows that. But yeah, it was a good day, good little filler day. It feels good to just have a nice relaxing day at the luau. So we went to bed very happily. On the 12th day of summer, I actually went back to Ginger Island using a guide online to see what golden walnuts I am missing. And through that, we found all of the remaining golden walnuts except for 5 of them. And that is exclusively because it was a sunny day and the last 5 require the mermaid puzzle on a rainy day. So we'll have to do that some other time, but hopefully soon. But you know what? For now, having done almost all the golden walnuts, I feel really good about the day. Finally, after 4 years, am I right? Day 13 was full of chores. Obviously, I had to collect and restock my keg sheds, get all my plants out of the ground, all the melons, everything. We had to get all that sold. We also went to Ginger Island to collect all the honey and all the crops there to obviously refill the keg sheds. And finally, we went to the mines in the volcano for about an hour to get a couple cinder shards. But also, right before going into the volcano, we did in fact get the last few golden walnuts. So now we have every single golden walnut there is to collect in the game. So it feels really nice to finally get that done after 4 in-game years. Whew, what a day. To close off our second week here on summer, I had a whole bunch of things that I needed to do before the green rain hit the next day, which was to get the raccoon stuff all made up. I chopped down all the train station trees, replanted them, fertilized them. Maybe they'll get a growth boost in the green rain, we'll have to see about that. And finally, I cleaned up most of Cindersap Forest. All that was left was the trees, but all the main things like the weeds, the rocks, and the sticks were all out of the way, so I'm very happy about that. A good day of work. You love it. The 15th of summer was the green rain day of the season, so obviously, as I usually do on this kind of day, I chopped down as many trees as I could, got as much fiber as I could, and got as much moss as I could. I ended up with around 270 moss, around 700 fiber, and about 500 wood. Probably would have been more wood if I didn't chop down all the trees in Cindersap yesterday, but you know what? 500 wood is still pretty dang good regardless, so otherwise, it was a very good green rain day. We will take it very happily. Day 16 was another Skull Caverns day, and I know I've said this one a lot, but I genuinely believe it when I say this was the best Skull Caverns day I have ever had on this entire save. So, let's start off with the prismatic shards. 5. We had 5 prismatic shards. We also had over 530 iridium ore. Obviously, we had 16 diamonds or something like that. I mean, it was over 10. That's a given. We know that. And a whole bunch of other treasures and goodies. It was outstanding. The best day in the Skull Caverns by far. The 17th day of summer was actually returning to the volcano to mine some cinder shards. I had teased about it over the last couple days, but I actually sat down, locked in, and went to the volcano. And we had an underwhelming time collecting just barely over 20 cinder shards. It really wasn't that productive of a day, if I'm gonna be completely honest, but you know, some days it's just gonna be like that. No day is gonna be absolutely perfect, but we're gonna lay down, get some rest, and move on from today. Day 18, we returned to the mines to hopefully get some more cave jellies. And I shouldn't even say hopefully, because we did. We ended up getting 4 cave jellies, and we also caught a bunch of lava eels as well. What we didn't see is any treasure chests, and the last few times I've had that on my to-do lists, I'm just starting to think they don't appear at level 100, so yeah, that's just unfortunate. But we did get everything else I wanted to, especially the cave jellies. Like, we did good. A good day overall. You'll love it. Day 19, I returned to the Skull Caverns to try to take a crack at Mr. Quee's Hungry Challenge, and let me just say, it was a disaster. I actually got knocked out in the 70s in the mines. So yeah, not a good way to end my run, but you know, sometimes I guess it's just not gonna go the way I wanted it to. So yeah, that was pretty much it. For the rest of the day, I kind of just goofed around and went to bed. That was it. Day 20 fell on yet another Saturday, and obviously you know what that means. It's time to do all of my Saturday chores. I have to empty all the keg sheds, fill all the keg sheds, harvest all of my crops, grab all the honey out of the beehives, all the other things that are necessary on a Saturday. I had to get them done. I also made 10 more preserves jars just to make sure that when all the pineapples are ready, I can start turning them into pineapple juice instead of just selling the raw pineapples for profits, just to squeeze every last drop of G out of everything that I can get. Obviously, come on, you know how it goes. I love money. What am I supposed to do? On day 21, I actually returned to the Skull Caverns to have one more crack at the Hungry Challenge before it ended at the end of the day, and I am very happy to report that we did make it all the way down to level 100. I think I made it to level 101 or 102 before finally passing out at 2 a.m., but the main challenge was complete, so I feel very happy to be able to finish that off after fluking it the other night, so big W. On the 22nd day of summer, I was actually more focused on doing all sorts of chores, like chopping down the train station trees, getting all 78 of those golden mystery boxes traded in for 3 magic rock candy, which feels amazing. Now we have 6 magic rock candy. That is a ton. But also we went over to the desert to get some more totems, and we also went to Ginger Island and planted a couple mahogany trees since we're getting very low on hardwood, which is not good. But anyway, we did a lot today, so I feel really good about how things went. But anyway, it was a long day, so let's get some shut-eye, shall we? Waking up for day 23, I decided to go to the river and actually just catch some river fish, have a simple fishing day. Plus, I wanted to get some more river jelly just in case, because I do want to craft some more fish smokers, and I don't want to run out of river jelly or anything like that. So we got a couple of those, got a bunch of fish. It was a good day, a simple day of fishing. You know, that's just the kind of days you like to see every so often. So yeah, really, that was it. It was a good fishing day. On day 24, I actually tried to continue growing my frog collection. I already had a couple colors, but I wanted to at least get one new colored frog added to my stockpile of frogs, and I did. I got a blue frog added. I spent all of my iridium bars, by the way, and I only got the one frog added, so I don't know how it's going to be, how long it's going to take for us to get those last couple frogs, but I want to get the entire frog collection before the end of this playthrough, so we're making good progress and it feels good to get some frogs. So that was pretty much it for today, so we went to bed very happily. Day 25 of summer was all about the Skull Caverns, and it was also ASMR stuff, so that's why I kind of wanted to do it in the review as well. But anyway, we made it down 80 levels in the Skull Caverns, got a prismatic shard, obviously got my 10 government-mandated diamonds, and I also made sure to close all of my animal pens because I didn't do that the day before, and I kind of felt bad about it, so we went to bed at 1:50, so just barely missed the 2 o'clock whistle, so we did it. Good day overall, honestly. On the 26th day of summer, I actually went around and cleaned up the farms a little bit, although it might have been in vain because I really thought I could plant more fiber seeds than I thought, but I only planted almost just under 300, so it could have been more, but you know what, we'll take what we can get. The big farm is mostly planted over. We have speed grow, making those fibers grow faster. The ultimate goal was just to make it so I didn't have to do so much at the beginning of fall, and I think for the most part that should cover it, so honestly, overall, it was a very good day and a very productive day. On the penultimate day of summer, day 27, it was a Saturday, so obviously you know what that means. It's time to go through the entire farm, Ginger Island, everywhere to do all of my Saturday chores. And you know how that ended up with? We finally did it. We broke the counter at the end of the day and got 1.2 million G. With all of the hard work that we've put in throughout the farm these past few years, it finally paid off with over 1 million G in one single day. It's hard to believe, but we did it. Oh, it's such a good feeling. And on the second to last day of summer too. And you know what that means. If you guessed that it meant it's the last day of summer and we're gonna go to the moonlight jellies, you are absolutely right, because that's what it is, the 28th day of summer. We made it, another season come and gone. So, before the moonlight jellies, we went to the mountains and caught a whole bunch of fish. We caught over 40 fish, smoked a bunch of them to increase my profits even further, and then when I was selling everything, I kind of sold all of my coal. I just sold all of my coal. Every last bit of it. That was like 600 coal, dude. God's given me his toughest battles today, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, we're gonna have to fix that going into the first day of fall, but you know what? It just happens sometimes. Sometimes you just have a misclick, and that's exactly what happened. But you know what? It's fine. It's a good season overall, so we're just gonna take it in stride. Anyway, that does it. That is summer of year 4. So thank you everybody so much for sticking by this part of the season. It's been a lot of fun, and I'm super looking forward to fall of year 4 here on Applegate Farm. So thank you everybody so much for watching this video. As always, make sure you show your support down below. Show your support down below. I can't speak English today. You already know the vibes. By giving this video a like and also comments on this video. Share this video with absolutely everybody you can possibly imagine. If you're new to the channel, you can subscribe. You can also hype this video, but yeah, that's about it. As always, thank you guys so much for watching today's episode, this whole recap and everything like that. I appreciate the support. So, as for me, well, I guess I'll be back here next season for the next recap here in Applegate Farm. So, bye!